In the middle of the ocean. In the middle of the ocean. All right, you guys. Today we're going to talk about a simple recipe for getting unstuck, for feeling better. This is particularly going to be helpful for those who might identify as a highly sensitive person, HSP, maybe water signs and astrology. Basically, anyone who experiences emotions strongly. Now, I believe that we all do. It's just how in tune we are with our emotions. And so there are those of us who are very in tune with them and hence why they feel so intense. So let's just get into this simple recipe. It's going to be pretty straightforward today, but practical and helpful. Before that, I want to share a little personal update. I am 26 weeks pregnant. I want to live in these rompers, you guys. I love these so much. I wish I had one in every color and I could just wear Monday through Saturday or whatever, Sunday, a different color and just live in this because this is amazing. I gotta show you. I mean, come on. Cute. See? I'm all about comfort right now. And in general, let's be honest. Okay, so I've got my notes here to keep me on track. Okay, first let's talk about why this recipe came to be. So I think a lot of us aren't taught how to actually process our emotions. And then for those of us who are in tune, very in tune with our emotions and feel them so deeply, we can start to live in the mind as a way to feel safe. So for me, I have found myself intellectualizing feelings to try to think my way out of them or to rationalize myself into a new feeling. And I have learned the hard way that that does not work. Feelings need to be felt, but where I've also gotten it wrong in the past is thinking that they need to be felt and entertained for a long time. They really don't. I think it's something like 30 to 90 seconds a feeling passes if it's felt. I'm not positive on that, but I think most of the time feelings don't linger when they're truly felt. And when they're not felt, I think this can manifest as anxiety, stress, it's escapism, lots of different things. I'm having a baby girl, and I hope to teach my daughter that feelings aren't something to fear, they're something to feel. And we can use alchemy, which is this process of taking something that's painful to you and turning it into something beautiful. And I think that can be with emotions, that emotions are signals, they're messengers for us, and we can take them, we can sit with them, and we can transform them. So here's how you do that. This recipe has 4 ingredients. If you're able to, write these down or put it in your phone, something where you'll remember, or you can just come back to this video if you need to. Ingredient number 1 is a song that fits your current feelings and emotions. So choose a song that you feel like relates to how you're currently feeling, when you're struggling, when you need to process emotions. Ingredient number 2 is choose a comfortable position. Now, I highly recommend sitting on the floor, sitting in a seated position with your legs crossed. I like to kind of put my hands in a meditative state and sit tall. The reason for this is lying down is okay, but it's really easy to numb out and to or fall asleep, just not actually go through the process. Whereas when you're sitting in that position, upright on the floor, your legs crossed, you're way more likely to truly feel, and that's going to help the process actually work. Okay, so that's 2 ingredients. The third one is 1 self-soothing technique. If you have something that you can use that's helped you before, great. If not, let me tell you about a few of mine. I really love the butterfly hug, which is taking your hands like this, putting them on your chest and tapping. And it's like giving yourself a butterfly hug. It's very regulating and very soothing. It's another way to keep yourself really present and grounded and in the moment, and helps kind of avoid your mind wandering, so that way you can really feel the emotion that you need to. Okay, last ingredient is one song that can cultivate a new feeling. And a new feeling that feels positive, feels good to you. So this could be gratitude, joy, maybe even nostalgia feels good to you, maybe it doesn't. So whatever can cultivate a new feeling for you that's good, choose a song like that. Okay, so yeah, like with any recipe, you're always going to have an end goal. So the goal here is to feel better. You guys, side note, pregnancy breathing is no joke. Whew, so thanks for your patience and my needing to breathe a little more. Okay. So, yeah, the goal is to feel better after the recipe than you did going in. So it's the same as when you bake something, right? You took a bunch of things and you made something yummy and awesome from it. So same idea. That's what alchemy is. It's transforming something painful into something that serves you. Yeah, I have a note. Caution not to force anything. Allowing is going to be really important. So just keep that in mind. Just allowing yourself to feel, to go at your own pace, to change your mind. For example, if you choose the butterfly soothing technique, but then you need a different one, that's totally fine. Oh, and I think I was going to tell you a few more of those. So yeah, a couple others I'll do is like rock back and forth, or just tapping in general. If you don't like the butterfly hug, you could just tap here on your face, any of those. Okay, so we've gone through the ingredients. What's the actual recipe? What are the steps? So number 1 is put on the song that relates to your current feelings, and you're in your seated position or whatever position you've chosen, and you're going to let your emotions be felt in your body. The song can really help evoke those emotions if that's hard for you to do. So that's kind of why that's part of the recipe. If your mind starts to come in to judge your feelings, it's okay. Just notice. Don't grab onto it. Don't get frustrated by it as much as you can. Imagine it kind of like clouds passing in the sky. I like to think of my thoughts in cloud bubbles and just like have it pass, but I'm not attached to those thoughts. They're happening, but they're not influencing me. Yeah, it's like instead of, imagine thoughts on a tree with apples that are rotten, and you're choosing to grab those and eat them. We're not going to do that. We're not going to grab the thoughts. We're going to let them pass by like clouds in the sky. So as you continue to go in the song, you'll notice things come up in your body. Pay attention to that. What sensations, what emotions are coming up for you? Maybe you're having this urge to cry. Let it flow. Allow. Remember, allowing is going to be really important to the process. Other things that might come up, you might feel the urge to scream. Maybe you feel the urge to breathe deeply. Maybe it's just like to moan and groan. Whatever the feeling that you're having, different things will come up. Okay, step number 2, these kind of all go together, is to use your self-soothing technique if you need to or want to. Again, that can just really help you feel connected to your body, to this moment, to stay in it, to stay with it when it might feel overwhelming, and that can help you with like a sense of safety too. So I think, yeah, I'll share an experience of one that I've done, but let me just finish with the last step, which is when you notice that you've really been allowed to feel those feelings, like they're kind of starting to come down. If you need to, you could rate your feelings before. So if it's like, oh, they're at a 9 of intensity, then kind of check in once they're at a number that feels manageable, a 4, a 3, a 2. You'll know, okay, this process has, worked, and it's time to do the key piece, which is the alchemy. So you're going to choose your other song to cultivate that new emotion. Okay, and then just same thing, just really be in it, listen to the song. I like to close my eyes. The rocking and the tapping just really helps me get into the moment and really feel that song, and it helps me cultivate a new emotion. Listening to your body's cues and your intuition is key. I'm giving you a recipe, but if something needs to be modified, listen, you are your own expert on yourself. You have an inner guide within you. I believe this so strongly. So remember that, give yourself permission to modify, to do what feels good. Okay, so some of you might know, others might not. I am a licensed clinical social worker, and I identify with this term of being a mystic, where I love the clinical world, but I love the unseen world as where I feel like we can gain so much wisdom through ourselves, through meditation, through the unseen, through subjectivity, meaning like your own experience. And I appreciate the clinical world of trying to kind of put things into boxes to understand. We do need language and understanding for the human experience, but I think there's so many things that go beyond, and so I really love the two worlds. Anyway, I share a little bit about myself just for you to get to know me, but also because my current work is in crisis work, and there are days that can be really, really heavy. So I had one the other day where afterwards I just felt like a pressure cooker full of honestly, I think sadness for some of the stories I had heard that day, and maybe grief on behalf of them. And I was trying to think my way out of it. Like, okay, these aren't my, experiences. I can feel for them, but not take this on. I'm like trying to think my way out of the feelings, and it's just making me more anxious. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I need to feel. And so I went into, we have it's going to be the baby room, but it's totally empty right now. And the light comes in and it's just so peaceful. I went in there, I put my headphones on, and I put on, it's called Mama Ocean by Chantress Seba. I love this song. I don't know, it's magical. It helps me process emotions. So I'll write that in the description if anyone wants to check it out. But finding what works for you is most important. So I put that on, I had my position, and I just felt the song, and I just bawled. And I feel like it took the whole song for me to be like, okay, I felt these emotions. My mind would try and come in and be like, why are you so sad or upset about this? Try and judge me for it. But I was like, you know what? No, it's here. It's in my body. I let the thoughts pass by on those clouds, but I was really just trying to be in tune with my body. I did the butterfly tapping. I allowed the experience, and then I noticed the intensity come way down. But stopping there would have just kind of left me meh, I would say. So then I put on The Middle of the Ocean by Stick Figure. I love this song. If you can't tell, I'm a water girl, water lover. I'm a Cancer sun and Pisces rising, so that's probably part of it. And Sag moon, if you want to know. But I've just always felt so at home in water, so songs about water must speak to me. I don't know. But this song has just felt so peaceful to me, and it feels almost like a natural high. So I put that song on, and then by the end, I just felt such an overwhelming sense of gratitude and joy and love. And I was like, I have got to share this process on YouTube. Another reason that I said that it's best for HSPs or mystics, these kinds of identities where you just feel and think so deeply, is I also believe that there are those of us who maybe came here to break generational curses or trauma. I guess when I say curses, I just mean trauma. of patterns being passed down over time that really don't serve us as humans or have hurt us, but have maybe helped our ancestors survive in their times. And I have had moments where I felt like I was overcome with emotions to do ancestral healing work. This is another process that's helped me do that. It's only happened a few times, but when it has, my grandmother, who I never met, but her face or her name or image will come into my mind. And then I'm just overtaken by emotions that I know aren't mine. It took me some time to realize that was what's going on, but with time have been able to kind of like learn how this process works. And I felt a lot of grief from her that needed to be felt. And the grief that I felt was from having to carry too much, which makes so much sense because during those times, I think women really carried a lot and weren't in equal partnerships or marriages where there was more of a balance of labor or give and take or true like checking in on each other. Now, none of that is to diminish the love my grandparents had for each other. I know that it was really strong. It's just that was the times. And so I felt like her suffering from that and her inability to be able to use her voice, even though she had one and had a lot to say, I imagine and could feel. So at that time, I really loved that live action movie Aladdin, and those songs kept coming to me. So the first song I put on was Speechless, of just like, she talks about not having her voice and how much anger and grief she feels from that. And then my second song in this process was A Whole New World, just talking about like letting your heart guide you. And it's very much a feeling of the woman being empowered in the relationship and having more of an equal partnership. And that was just so powerful. That for that one, I actually danced as I listened to those songs. And I feel like I could feel for sure my grandma around me and perhaps like other female ancestors that I don't know super well. But it was just clear to me I wasn't alone. And I truly believe I did ancestral healing work that day. And it was just so powerful. And we don't really talk about these things in like the regular reality. And so I think it's so important to share our experiences, to know like these experiences are real. And if you've had something like this happen, it's real, even if that's that whole piece, right? Of there's this whole unseen world. Okay. So I hope that this recipe for feeling better spoke to you. I hope you can give it a try the next time you just feel pent up of emotions or stress or anxiety or fear or whatever it is. Go through this process, try it out, and then let me know how it worked for you. All right, until next time. Bye-bye.